Have you ever set your mom on fire? Have you swam through literal feces? Did someone switch you at birth? Well, boy, do I have the solution for you. Just don't watch Fate the Winx Saga and you'll be fine. Do literally anything else than the actions of the characters in that show. Hello guys, it's Stanley here, yet again. This is, oh god. So, I'm not really good at reviews or speaking my mind very well, and it's a part of why I kind of created this YouTube channel. So I could push my consciousness onto the internet and live on forever there, with all of my chaotic thoughts being immortalized in the World Wide Web. It's actually kind of scary if you think about it. And I watched something that I have talked about. My last video, you might have remembered that I rated the Winx outfits from the Fate the Winx Saga trailer, and the trailer had dropped then, and I was like, let's see what this is, and I have never been a fan of Winx. I have no idea why this swept me away like a winter storm into the depths of hell itself. But boy, am I in literal dragon fiery hell. Yes, I did in fact watch Fate the Winx Saga when it came out. My friend was texting me and she was like, did you watch it? And I was like, no, I didn't watch it. I had completely forgotten that it came out, so I decided let's take a peek. Let's give it a chance, see what it is, because she was like, I have very strong opinions about this and I want to talk about it. And I was like, yeah, I'll probably have some strong opinions as well. And boy, do I. So I watched it and I decided that just venting to my friend was not enough. So I have to vent to the entire world, and I wanted to make a video. And that's this is it. It's happening. This is the video which I'm referring to. I am making it as we speak, but at the same time not. Isn't recording stuff cool? Time doesn't mean anything. So I put my thoughts in categories, and that's what it's gonna be. I have a few categories and we'll go through them as we slowly descend into the fiery pits of hell. Okay, let's go. Let's do this. First category: characters. So we have Bloom, the main character, the real MC. I don't know if that's whatever. She's our fucking main character. She is there to kind of move the story along, and she's the center of all the events that happen in the series, which I can respect. That's a good thing. We stan an active character and not a passive reactionary one. This is good. I like the fact that they're adapting more of that rather than the Vampire Diaries more passive type of female protagonist who just reacts to stuff. I haven't watched Vampire Diaries. I don't even know if the main character is like that. I'm probably thinking about Twilight. But yeah, she's more active, but she's also very annoying as a person. She's selfish, hot-headed. I know this person. I've met this person. I would be friends with such a person. But I would hate it. If I were in Althea and I had met this iteration of Bloom, I would be friends with her only to tell her off and be like, stop this. This is stupid. Don't girl, please just listen to me and do not do this. And then she would do this, and I would be like, well, I can't really be mad at you because, I mean, what's the point? You did this to yourself and you're suffering the consequences. So I'm not even mad. I'm not even mad. Low-key, I have a friend who is a lot like Bloom, and I love her, but seeing this in a TV show, I kind of... it's not the best protagonist. Or more like, it's not a protagonist I'm like rooting for, it's more of a protagonist I'm like, get a fucking grip. She's constantly being told to not do reckless stuff. Like she's like, I'm going to do this very reckless and stupid thing because you were keeping the truth for me, and when somebody wrongs me, I immediately jump to an extreme because I'm one of those young girls. And like she tells that to the person who has like quote unquote wronged her, and that person is like, I said I wronged you, or like I lied to you, or like I kept some truths from you because I wanted to protect you from bad stuff. And she's like, no, I'm still gonna do this. And she goes and does this reckless, stupid thing, and then she has to be saved. It is a cool moment in the end of the series where she's like admits that she's been a brat to her headmistress, but like it's all too little too late, I'm afraid. But yeah, I don't really like Bloom as a person, but I would totes be her friend. I would probably like her as a person if she wasn't on TV, but I saw her in real life. But seeing her in a show, no thank you. The next one is Terra. Terra is an imposter. She is the imposter. That's my Among Us reference. I have never played Among Us, and I don't think I ever will, but this is the meme that I'm going with. Now, I've heard somewhere before, but I didn't believe it, that Terra is actually Flora's cousin. And they do mention that in the show, and it just kind of makes me wonder why did they do this? Like, why did they switch Flora with this Terra character? I don't get it, but okay, I'm like, fine, cool. She's not a bad character, but she's kind of, she does some questionable stuff as well when she almost strangled Riven to death. That was interesting. It was petty. I wasn't like, oh, she's powerful. And I wasn't expecting her to be like Flora and be all nice and be like, I forgive you for being an asshole to me. I was expecting more like she tells him off or something like that, or like she's witty, but she goes directly to using her magic in order to threaten him, and I never really like that. I feel like it's cowardly to have a character retaliate in that way towards someone. I don't like it. I know they're not supposed to be perfect and they're very damaged children, but like, it's not someone I root for when she's actively choking out another student in order to intimidate him, but then at the same time we're supposed to think that she is this kind-hearted and capable young woman. It just isn't it. I don't like the sad, pathetic, wronged, heavier girl trope, because I know that happens, but I don't like how they handle it in the sense that they don't do her justice. She remains like bad. It's not, I don't like it. She doesn't really retaliate in any sort of way that's like good. She does grow as a character, but I feel like some stuff was kind of extra and led to nothing. Musa is like fine. She's just a girl character. I don't mind her personality and her as a character, but for some reason they switched her powers. I feel like they gave her, she was the sound fairy instead of like the music fairy. They thought that music is a weird power that's like very they could have made it like Vanya Hargreaves type, but not as destructive maybe. They could have like made her be able to control sound waves. That would have been cool. Why did they make her an empath? That literally makes no sense. But I digress. I liked how they handled the empathy thing, though they didn't really do much with her character. She just had a boyfriend, and that's about it. Yeah, like, cool. Oh yeah, her boyfriend Sam, who is Terra's brother. Like, that's a weird story arc that happens. Like, Musa starts dating this boy with very calm emotions, and his name is Sam, who is played by Jacob Dunham, I think his name was. And I'm like, wow, that's the cutest boy in this show. Wow, he's exactly my type. But I digress. Yeah, he's sweet and very handsome. We stan the casting of this character, and I like him more than Riven. I'm sorry, I never liked Musa and Riven in the cartoon. I always thought that their relationship was kind of toxic. Like, they always learned the same lesson. He was doing the wrong stuff, and she always got mad at him, and she never communicated what was wrong, and he was just like there being an idiot, being like, what did I do wrong? And finally they don't really resolve their issues, but like they decide to make up for some reasons, and then the next season they have basically the same conflict again, and it's so stupid. I was glad that they broke it off in the end, but they'll probably get back together in season 8 because they haven't finished that one. I'm stalling. It's bad. So I like the Sam and Musa relationship more because it's healthier, he's cuter, and I don't have an end. It's just that. It's better. Do more of that. Also he's like nice. He's actually nice and calm, and he's Terra's brother. So like, Musa has this story arc where she has to hide from Terra that she's dating her brother for some reason, and she's like very nervous to tell Terra. And when she tells Terra finally, Terra is like, oh, okay, cool. You have bad taste, but like, sure, who cares? And I was like, show more credit to your brother, Terra. He's a fucking hot piece of ass. Stop it, Terra. Stop it. And yeah, that's what happens with them. Stella is weird. They made her the mean girl, and I actually proposed that, so prediction was made, and it was accurate. They made her the mean girl that turns into a nice girl, and I don't mind that trope. I'm perfectly fine with that. I feel like it shows a different side. A different side to Stella, and a lot of people don't like that, but personally I prefer this type of Stella that's kind of mean because she has kind of a bit of issues. I prefer that type of Stella to the one that's kind of ditzy and fucks stuff up unintentionally and is incompetent generally and is shallow and bad. I'm sorry. for those who don't agree with me, but that's the thesis. But what I don't like about this iteration of Stella is where they take their character and how they handle it. She has like this, everyone's kind of afraid of her because she blinded her best friend. She's on and off with Sky, who was her boyfriend. I'm gonna add Sky to Stella because they're kinda... So they were together. They broke it off, but she wants to kinda be with him again. They kinda go back together. I don't know why, because she's familiar. It's this stupid teenage angst fest that I'm not really about. And there's the story going on that Stella used her powers to blind her best friend, Ricky. We only get Ricky's name. That's it. She blinded Ricky and she kept telling everyone that it was on purpose, but we later on find out that it wasn't on purpose. That she lost control of her powers because her mom is a bitch who teaches her how to use her powers improperly. And her mom is a raging lunatic. She's the queen of the most powerful kingdom of Solaria, and she wants her daughter to be like the extension of her power. So when Stella loses control because her mother's teaching skills are shit, she blinds her best friend. Her mom prefers people to believe that Stella blinded her friend intentionally because, I quote, "It's better for everyone to think that Stella is a psychotic bitch than that she's weak and lost control." She's the queen of the most powerful kingdom, and she has that type of mindset. This is horrifying and scary, and I don't know how to feel about that. And we have Aisha, who is like, she's cool, she's me, she kind of is there for Bloom, she's Bloom's truest friend, and she's like telling her that the stuff she does are wrong, and Bloom doesn't listen to her and gets herself into trouble, and gets mad at Aisha, and then is like, oh, oops. Like, they really did Aisha dirty in this show. I really hate that. Like, she's honestly the best character because she has more than one brain cells and everyone else has less than that. And like, there's a point in the show where Bloom does something or like wants to do something that is a really, really bad idea. And Aisha tries to stop that, but by telling the teachers that Bloom wants to do that, the teachers go to Bloom when it's already too late, and Bloom gets in trouble, but she has already done the really bad thing that she was not supposed to do, and that thing results in the school being attacked. So Bloom, being responsible for the attack on the school because she did the thing she was not supposed to do, now has the audacity to be angry at Aisha for telling the teachers about this and getting her in trouble. And Aisha apologizes. This is the most infuriating thing in these type of shows, and I really hate it. And all of the girls are like treating Aisha like she's a traitor for doing the right thing and stopping their dumbasses, or trying to stop their dumbasses from doing this dumbass thing that got the entire school under attack by literal fire monsters that can kill you with just a scratch. Like, at that point, Terra's brother has been scratched, and he's about to die. And Terra is still on Bloom's side, even though Bloom is responsible for all of this. And this is why I hate Bloom in this show. Aisha was done dirty, carrying on. There's the character of Beatrix. She's like this cool, mean girl, and that's about it. She's like infiltrating the Kuo to like free this Rosalind lady who is the last headmistress of the school or whatever. So Beatrix's thing is to like manipulate Riven into helping her and like be a social justice warrior for this gay guy called Dane, or is he gay? I don't know what that story arc is really about. It's kind of weird. Like, there's this guy Dane who is being sort of bullied, but at the same time kind of flirted upon by Riven. I don't know what that's about. And like, can we talk about how Dane is an ass? And I don't know if this is like true or not. There's kind of a bit of racist overtones in this, because we have Aisha, who is one of the black characters, and she's painted to be this goody two-shoes who kind of fuck things up for the rest of the girls by having a brain and doing the right thing, but like betraying them. And then we have Dane, who is the other of the two black characters, and he like befriends Terra, but then acts like an ass to her and starts adopting this really stupid bad boy type of thing where he smokes in the cafeteria, but like in a very cringy way that you know it's half-heartedly done. And like, what's up with Dane? Like, why are the only two black characters supposed to be unlikable in this? I don't get it. And like, Musa, who is supposed to be Asian, isn't even Asian. She's just some white chick. It's like, whatever. And Riven is like an ass. He's just a stereotypical ass cat who has an inferiority complex. You know the trope. You know that trope. And there's Sky, who is a literal doormat, and everyone just like to step on his face, but like he wants Stella to step on his face, and she does that constantly, and then he's like, oh no, I prefer Bloom to step on my face, and then Bloom starts stepping on his face, and like everyone just steps on his face, and you're like, yeah, that's accurate to the cartoon. We also have this Farah Dawning, or whatever her name is. She's clearly supposed to be Farragonda, but they changed her name because she would be killed in the end. Spoilers, by the way. She was killed in the end, and they were too cowardly to kill off the actual Farragonda. Next thing is relationships. Did I mention? I didn't mention all of the characters, but I don't want to. I focused on the ones I kind of care about, so let's move on to relationships. So let's start with Sky, because he's a little barf bag. Like, everyone seems to like vomit in his mouth and he just takes it. So he's like friends with Riven, but like in a weird way where Riven kind of envies Sky for some reason, because I guess there's a reason for Sky to be envied. I guess Sky is the loser and Riven is the even lower loser. So Sky has codependent relationships with literally anyone he interacts with, like his father figure Silver, who is like the person he trains with, like the guy who his teacher or something like that, the guy who teaches the specialists, because his father died, but spoilers, no, he did not. And like this person Silver took Sky under his wing. Another codependent relationship that Sky is in is the one with Stella, and that is the most infuriating one, because he basically he has like a hero complex for her, and he wants to save her. He wants to change her. He loves a project. He wants everyone to see that she's actually a good person deep inside, but he's the only one who can see that, and she doesn't show anyone else. She just shows him that, and I'm like, dude, stop this. absolutely stop this. This is the most unhealthy thing ever. And at least they do acknowledge that that's not healthy, but at the same time, it's infuriating to watch him, like, be a righteous prick, and at the same time, be a literal doormat for this literal queen bitch. You know? It's just a whole lot of infuriating stuff. Like, Stella has an interesting relationship with everyone else. Like, she's like, does something bad, like intentionally does something bad to someone, probably most of the time Bloom, because she kind of hates Bloom. So she does something bad to Bloom, and then she like cries about it and is like, everyone hates me. Like, I can't go there in that room when everyone there hates me. And I'm like, girl, what? Like, first of all, those girls were very forgiving of Stella. Like, anything she did, they were like, it's just Stella. Who cares? Like, you know how it is. Girls will be girls. And like, for some weird reason, we don't really see Stella interact with the rest of the girls that much. And then she's like taken home by her mother, and everyone is like, oh, I miss Stella so much. I miss how she critiqued my outfit and like, what? Like, we never really saw that. So what are you even talking about? We never even saw her be actually mean to you. Like, she was kind of just doing her own thing. I don't fucking know. I don't fucking remember even. Maybe I missed something. I don't fucking know. Oh yeah, also Bloom is a changeling, which is like a fairy baby that was like switched at birth with a human baby. So she's not adopted. A lot of people are like, what is this? She should have been adopted. But I'm like, no, this is not a bad thing. It's actually they're including actual fairy lore into this, and we stand. But like, they just use it as another thing to like angst over, and I'm sick of it. They angst over every single fucking thing, and I'm over it. I'm very over it. Oh, also at some point Bloom is scared of Stella because she learns that story that Stella blinded her best friend because of her flirting with Sky. And since Bloom is also flirting with Sky, she's scared to continue flirting with Sky. And it's just pointless at this point. Musa fucks Sam, so that's their relationship. They're like together, and Terra's relationship with everyone is complicated because her father lies to her and she hates that, and her brother is, I don't know what her relationship with her brother is. They never really focus much on that. Her relationship with her friends is that she's like always insecure, especially with Musa, because Musa kind of avoids her, because Musa wants to stop feeling everyone's emotions so much. And why is everyone's emotions so much? There are a lot. And Terra is especially very much a lot. So Musa kind of avoids her at first, and Terra is angry about it, and at the end of the first episode, does Musa decide to actually explain that she's an empath, and that she shouldn't take it personally because she just wants to be a bit of peace and quiet from everyone else's emotions, and that's why she doesn't speak a lot to Terra. That could have been resolved in the first moment they met. I don't know why they kept that going for an entire episode, but what the fuck ever. What else? Oh yeah, and also Beatrix and Riven and Dane have a relationship type of gay shit. Like, Dane, at least I think, like, it's not really, I don't fucking know what that's about exactly, but the way I read their relationship, it's like Dane wants to fuck Riven and he wants to be like Beatrix. I hate that. I really hate that. I hate that stereotype. Oh my god. Beatrix is not even that cool. She's cringy. I hate that stereotype of a gay guy who like lives for the hot mama. Oh my god, pardon that. But like it's true, I hate that. Like as a determined homosexual myself, I know what it's like. You can like be friends with a girl and love her personality and sass without turning it into a weird stereotypical gay type of shit, you know? Like I really hate that. Treat her like a person, damn it. She's your friend. Like maybe I'm misreading that, but like they have a conversation where Riven is like, who do you think, like she's asking Dane if he's gay or not, and he's like, who do you think of when you masturbate? And Dane doesn't answer because he never confirms his sexuality because at this point you know that Dane is kind of not a positive character. He's being peer pressured left and right. He like wants to be like the cool kids, and that means betraying his friends. If he can be like the cool kids, he does that. And when Tara confronts him about, hey, you are an asshat to me, and he was like, I did one thing and you like turn against me, shows what kind of friend you are. And I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up. Are you a complete moron, Dane? Are you a total fucking moron? So yeah, he doesn't give Riven a straight answer whether he's gay or not. And he just says to Riven, like, I think you're hot. And I think that's Beatrix is also hot, but like in a different way. And I'm like, oh dude, no. Don't do that. Don't fucking refer. No. I know this. I've seen this. I hate this. Stop it. Like, I stan a queen as much as the next person, as much as the next gay guy, but like, really? That's such a cringy way to put it. Like, ew. Also, don't say the word hot. Like, don't refer to someone as being hot when you've literally been the biggest fucking loser in the entire show. And I don't mean like loser in the high school way, I mean like loser in you've made the worst decisions ever. The wrongest decisions. Even worse decisions than Bloom's decisions. Like, no. Needless to say, Riven and Dane join Beatrix in the end. As like, I don't know, I guess the three of them are the tricks now. That would be fucking hilarious. And like they become blood witches because apparently blood witches are humans who are not supposed to use magic, but like they find some way by ritual sacrifice or whatever. I don't fucking know. It's more interesting of a lore. Oh my god, I gotta talk about the plot now. Oh no, not this fucking shit. How am I supposed to explain this fucking shit of a plot? This recording is already too long. Okay, I'm gonna like go through it really fast. Like, we start off with Bloom, who is already at Althea, and she's like from the normal world, and like she just learned that she's a fairy. She set her mom on fire, and like luckily her parents survived. So yeah, she goes to Althea but lies to her parents that she's like in some boarding school in Switzerland. So like she wants to learn magic, and Farragon, I'm just gonna call her Farragonda, who cares? Farragonda tells her that there's a curriculum for her and magic needs to be learned slowly, but Bloom is like, no, I'm an impatient brat. So she goes to the forest to like study her, to try her magic out on her own, and she sets herself on fire. Thankfully, Aisha uses her water powers to like stop her from setting the whole forest on fire, and that's how they come to the conclusion that Bloom must be a changeling because she's very powerful to be like a human-born fairy. So some guy gets killed by one of the burned ones, the burned ones are these monsters, and that's it. Apparently they were like soldiers, we learn in the end, who were like cursed to be the burned ones, and the burned ones were created from the dragon flame. And we all know what the dragon flame is. It's the source of Bloom's powers. So like the burned ones basically want to capture Bloom or something? I don't know, they're after Bloom. And stuff happens. And I'm gonna skip all of that stuff because I don't think it's really relevant or anything. Like, what am I supposed to say about all of this? Like Stella's mom's a bitch, and she wants, I don't know what, she wants revenge because she's petty. Because Farragonda doesn't teach her daughter properly, I guess. Who the fuck cares about that? And like Sky is like crying about his dead father, and the silver guy who is like Sky's father figure is like, I killed your father actually, by the way. And Sky's like, what am I supposed to do with this information? And then there's like a couple of instances where random characters literally say how broken they are. They really do say that. I thought that was a meme at this point. But like they're actual characters who like say, I am very broken. I'm a broken person. And like Bloom is like, oh my god, I love that for you. Like, no, she doesn't say that, but I would have loved it if she did. That would have been so much better. That would have been so funny. She would be like, who the fuck do you think you are? Broken my ass. I don't remember if an adult said that they were broken, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did. I would just throw myself out the balcony. Let's just put it like that. While everyone is being broken, Bloom just does a bunch of stupid shit. Like, she is given the Solaria ring by Stella, and she uses that to kind of go home and see her parents, but like stalk them and call them and cry to them, and then she lets one of the burned ones into the human realm, and she loses the ring. Luckily, Farragonda captures the burned one and like keeps it in a cage, but Beatrix lets it out. So the Winx Club go to find the ring. They don't tell anyone that it's lost, except for Stella. So they go to like fight the burned one in order to get the ring. They get the ring. Stella is happy, and then I don't remember what happened afterwards. But like Beatrix basically thoroughly tries to lick Farragonda's ass in order to like get into her office and into her secret room, and that's fine. No, we know her motives, but like in hindsight, is that her plan? Like, she wants to be a brown-nosing her principal, but like what's the strategy there? Like, do you think that she would like willingly show you the secret room if you brown nose her so much? I don't know. I don't understand the strategy behind that. It was kind of stupid. Also, wouldn't she find you very suspicious if you keep like bugging her and wanting to like be with her 24/7? I would think this girl is trying to infiltrate my secrets. I have to keep watch on her because at the very least there's stuff in my office that I don't want anyone to see, and she seems very nosy, so I would probably look out for her just as a safety precaution. So she kind of fucked herself, but good thing Faragonda is kind of an idiot and doesn't think much of it. She's just like, oh, it's just a brown noser. Ooh. So Beatrix tries to free Rosalind, who is the fairy who switched Bloom at birth. She's not Bloom's mother, she just switched her at birth with those people, with the human parents. And apparently she's locked under the school in Faragonda's office, and Beatrix tries to free her, but she can't. She doesn't have the power to free her, but luckily Bloom has, and Bloom doesn't even need to be, I don't know, she doesn't really need much in the way of convincing in order to go there and like free her. She just does. And what does Rosalind do? She like sets an army of, well, not an army, but like a couple of burned ones to capture Bloom for some reason, or like more like to test her. Later on we learn that actually they're not after her for any particular reason rather than to like test her if she can kill them and be powerful. So she does, like Bloom does kill them. She transforms and she does the transformation sequence, and oh my god, this transformation sequence is so bad. It's very hammy, but at the same time it's very cowardly and boring. She like flies in the air in whirlwind of fire, and like Aisha creates a wall of water around her so she doesn't like explode or something. But like there's like fire and water, and it's like full-on magical girl transformation sequence with like fire swirling all around her, but in the end she doesn't even like transform, but like only wings appear, so I'm confused. Did they like what were they going for? So here's a drawing of what I wanted to see as a transformation to Blooms, as like a fairy transformation. It would have been so much cooler if there were like these elven beings with like rhinestones or like scales in Bloom's case, and I gave her horns because dragon flame, you know? The dragon flame. Dragons have horns. And she's like a dragon fairy. I thought that would be cool. But like, no, they just gave her wings that were made of fire, and they looked really bad. And she like kills them, and then like Rosalind is free and she talks to Faragonda. They like talk, and Rosalind is like, I think you need to take a sabbatical and I'll take over the school from there. And Faragonda is like, no, this is my school and I'm the head principal and you can like fuck off. And Rosalind is like, I knew you would say that, and then breaks her neck. And Faragonda dies, but she's not Faragonda, so it's not the real Faragonda dying. So again, another cowardly thing. They were too afraid to give us a proper transformation sequence, and they were too afraid to kill off Faragonda. Those cowards. There's like a sweet scene where like Bloom tells her parents that she's finally, that she's a fairy and she's been going to a school for fairies and that her friends are fairies. And like she explains what actually happened, and her parents like have an emotional moment with her. I thought that was really good, nicely put, and she like finally makes friends with people that are like her, and they have this breakfast with the friends and the parents, and it's really nice actually. It's actually very wholesome. And then they go back to the school when they see the Stella's mother and like Rosalind running the school with like police officers and stuff, and they're like, oh no. And season 2 is coming up at some point, I guess. The end. Oh my god. The next thing on my list is, what the fuck is this? What the fuck? I hate to regurgitate the same stupid points again and again, but like, why does this need to be a Winx Club thing when it's like the farthest thing from Winx. It's so weird. Why did they have to change so much? They didn't even change silly things, like things that couldn't be adapted into a serious show. I don't understand why they had to get rid of so many things because they thought they were silly instead of like changing them up in order to fit the aesthetic. It's not that difficult, guys. But apparently it is for them because there would have been a better way to change up a transformation sequence in order to be less zany and whimsical and more like badass and dark and cool. But they didn't even go there. They were too afraid to go there. At least that's what I feel. They couldn't make the transformation sequence actually cool. They didn't do anything risky with her, they just gave her wings made out of fire. And they looked really bad. Really bad. And the transformation sequence itself was kind of weird because they used sped up footage and like slowed down footage. It was like spliced together. It was so fucking weird. They completely booted out Tekna. Like they were like, we don't need this bitch. Why? Tekna would have been such a good addition to the cast. What even? Why is Sky like that? I mean, I never liked Sky as it was because, I mean, Sky was always kind of a big dumb idiot in the cartoon, but he's even a dumber idiot in the show. And before you come at me, Sky was a big dumb idiot in the cartoon because of one specific scene or like one specific episode like cemented him as the biggest fucking idiot in the whole entire Winx show. And that was when like he didn't really talk to his cousin. He didn't really like his cousin and he thought his cousin was a bad person all of this time for many years. He thought that his cousin was a horrible, awful person because when they were kids, the two of them were attacked by a gang of thugs, I think it was. Okay, so they were attacked by monkey soldiers, it appears. And his cousin got scared and ran away, and Sky had to fend for himself. So Sky barely survived, but he kept that grudge for so long, and he was blaming a child for running away from literal monkey soldiers. Sky was blaming his child cousin for not fighting against literal soldiers, and that he got scared and ran away as children do. My question is, why didn't Sky run away with him? It's stupid, it's so stupid. There was not one moment that he thought, oh, he was a child. He was a child. So it makes sense that he would get scared by thugs in the forest and run away and let the fear get the best of him. No, he needs to be a brave warrior child. Sky is a literal idiot. And in the live action, he's even worse. God, this is gonna be so long. I don't know, everyone is so stupid. I hate it. Why did they make everyone stupid? Like, everyone talked so badly. Like, nobody talks like that. Bloom called her mom a basic bitch. Fuck off. And then she FaceTimed her parents, and like Bloom referenced Lord of the Flies, and her father was like, Lady of the Flies, don't be sexist. Fuck off. No, nobody says that. Nobody would say that. This is not something people say. You don't reference Lord of the Flies and like decide that it's no. Sky decides to like tell Bloom that they're like literal monsters outside of school, so she shouldn't go alone there. And he wants to tell her that, but he starts the sentence by, I don't want to mansplain, but this isn't even the definition of mansplaining, guy. This has nothing to do with mansplaining. You're literally informing her of monsters lurking around. Like, this is how I know that Brian Young is so out of touch, because he thinks that teens actually talk like that. And I have bitter news for you, Brian Young. Nobody talks like that. Nobody. Everyone spoke in such a weird way. They used, you know how when boomers try to use more modern teenage language to appeal to the youth. That's how everyone talked. It was very bad. It was very cringe. I didn't like it. I don't like it. Fuck off. In conclusion, the show was bad. I didn't like. Scratch that. The show is bad, but it's bad for me. I need to accept that a live action adaptation of the Winx Club is probably not for me. It's probably not made for me. And it's probably made for a different demographic other than me. And that's okay to accept. That not everything has to do with me, and it's not about me. But I think this really sucked. I think it really did suck. It sucks. I'm not really like I've said many times, I'm not a fan of the Winx Club, but I feel like this is a poor adaptation, and if it was not an adaptation, people would have liked it more. But I see other people like it, so who cares? There will always be an audience for this fucking shit, I guess. I don't like it. That's my opinion. I don't like it. It's fair if you like it, but I don't like it. Okay, bye. Follow my social media down below. I sell merch, and I have a new Instagram account. You can go there. I should link stuff up there, and the bloom design is on my Instagram account. I also have a Redbubble shop, a Ko-fi account, my game is there. You can commission me, you can play my game for free, my promo game at least, and you can buy my merch, and so on and so forth. So this is long enough. This is enough. I've had enough. Yeah, thank you for watching me be this messy and chaotic. This is the most organized video I have ever done. See you in my next one, which will be even more organized, if wishful thinking is something that happens in my life. Bye.